All right, let's jump into a sort of very strange interview that Fox News host Greg Gutfeld did on his show. I don't know if this is still a comedy show or not. It has a laugh track, it sounds like. It's a very strange show. Now, I've exchanged some messages with Greg Gutfeld in the past, and sometimes when we talk about things he does and point out how ridiculous and humiliating they are, he'll tweet and say, this wasn't good or something like that. So I understand Gutfeld may see this and he may not like it. What was notable about this interview that he had is that it was with the former president, Donald Trump. Often in interviews with Trump, Trump's the only guy who's humiliated. But in this interview, it's both Trump and Gutfeld. This would make Maria Bartiromo blush. It's so fawning and brown-nosing of Donald Trump. The interview opens with Gutfeld basically saying he loves Trump, and his prior critiques of things Trump said were maybe like not fair. It's very strange. Check this out.
Right.
And then you started, and now I don't know if it's love, but it's getting close, and we like it.
It's not, I wouldn't say it's love, but I would say it's admiration.
Thank you.
And also admitting that I was wrong because I was focusing on words and not deeds. And now we're at a time where, okay, there are no more mean tweets, and we have a really nice president.
Because he's been banned from Twitter.
And the country is in the crapper. So who would you rather have?
Well, I don't know that he's a nice president. I'm not sure.
What is the laughing? Like, is there a studio audience that's reacting? Is it a laugh track? Is this a comedy show? Is it a news show? It's all very weird. It's not working as either, quite frankly.
But I can tell you the country has never been more unsafe. We have people pouring in through our southern border, which everyone's
talking about. That's not true.
Forgetting about right now because of the travesty of Afghanistan. And if you look at the people coming in by
it's like you could Gutfeld, instead of saying right, could so easily disable that and diffuse it and say, oh, how have the numbers changed of people coming in, and how have deportation numbers changed? And give us that. Trump would say, well, I don't know, but it's really bad. Just look.
hundreds by the thousands, and these are not the people necessarily that wanted the protection.
Right.
These are people. So are they terrorists? How many terrorists are coming in? And they were aggressive, very aggressive at the plane, and they pushed.
Gutfeld is saying right and yes to every single thing Trump says after talking about how great Trump is. Gutfeld then asked Trump, what would you say to my wife to convince her to get vaccinated? Apparently, Gutfeld's wife isn't vaccinated. And Trump goes, well, I recommend it, but if she doesn't want to, she shouldn't. Like he still has to be careful, because if he really says, like, just get vaccinated, his audience will go nuts.
Because you had COVID, and my wife, you met my wife, I don't know, it was like 6 years ago in Mar-a-Lago. She's still not gotten vaccinated. And I keep talking to her to get her to get vaccinated, and she hasn't. What would you say to her?
Well, first of all, I'd say, why is she not doing it? Does she have some kind of religious thing?
No, skeptical. She's skeptical, doesn't trust.
Well,
I think there was a laugh there was laughing when Trump asked why. If someone's using a laugh track, it's being used at very strange times.
Russian.
Yes, she's Russian.
That's the end of that.
Exactly. You can't argue with the Russian.
No. Very smart.
Yeah.
And very hard-headed.
Yes.
I think I know your wife a little bit, right?
Yes.
But she's great.
Trump, 20 seconds ago, Trump seemed not to remember meeting her. But now Trump is talking about how well he knows Gutfeld's wife. Is this considered a news interview?
And let her do what she wants to do. I got vaccinated, and I feel very good. I think we saved millions and millions of people worldwide. In 1917, they say...
It's 1918.
Almost 100 million, approximately 100 million people died.
Yeah.
I think we could have been into that situation because it was very bad. And now, if you're vaccinated, the other thing it shows that if you do get sick, you don't get sick like they were before, meaning you don't die.
Exactly.
Trump's right about all this, by the way.
So I would recommend, but I also say that let her have her freedoms. You know the word freedom, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And with you, she needs freedom.
She needs a lot of freedom from me, I found.
Yeah, right.
Gutfeld, the premise was, how can I convince my wife to get vaccinated? But as soon as Trump says her freedom not to get vaccinated is important, Gutfeld says, yeah, exactly. There's nothing Trump said during this interview where Gutfeld wasn't like, well, hold on a second. Here, then, the questioning gets really tough. Gutfeld asked Trump, how hard is it to be president from 1 to 10? Was it a difficult job?
Question. I bet no one's ever asked you this. I think I might know the answer.
Well, a 5-year-old would ask this. Donald, is it hard to be the president? This is what a little kid would ask. So it's not no reporter or journalist would ask such a dumb question.
How hard is it being president from a scale to 1 to 10?
Well, I had
Now, here the laughing makes sense, right? The question is so stupid that I actually think there was not enough laughing here.
two forms of presidency. Number one, I had to run the country, work on the world, and do things. And the other thing, I had to survive.
Yeah.
The survival was much tougher.
Question.
Listen, he was busy not only being president, but trying to keep up with golfing, watching TV, and fending off sexual assault lawsuits. Really tough stuff. And then here's just a last clip. In this one, Trump suggests that Taliban leaders, when he speaks to them on the phone, that they grunt. Now, what's funny is supposedly Biden would be bad for dealing with the Taliban. Here, Trump talks about when he would deal with the Taliban, but it's all about calling them Abdul and saying they grunt.
Oh, it is Christmas.
It is Christmas.
They're still celebrating.
Yes.
Okay, so I told you about Abdul. So he's tough. And when I first spoke to him by phone, I said, "Nice to speak to you by phone, Abdul." And he goes, "Ah." You know, they're ferocious people. You know, like you go to Broadway shows, they fight. They like to fight. They've been fighting for about 1,000 years. How
I hate Broadway.
What a humiliating interview. And then now I'm going to now drop in the cherry on top. This is like nothing I've ever seen. Gutfeld says yes to everything. He opens the interview by saying how great Trump is. He asks questions like, how hard was it to be president from 1 to 10? He says right to everything Trump says. And then this guy named Tyrus, Tyrus, I think it is, who has a wrestling belt. He's, I guess, a panelist on this program. He says, you know what was great about this interview, Greg Gutfeld? You didn't kiss Trump's ass. Tyrus, did you watch the interview? It's beyond parody. Take a look.
Normally would never do this, man, but wow, man, that was a real no, but it was a conversation, and you didn't change. No, people when they interview presidents change. You didn't kiss his ass.
What? Did you see the interview?
And I applaud you, and you got you had a conversation. You even told him I didn't like, because I used to hear him going, this guy, are you kidding? And that was a great conversation.
It is truly beyond parody, and it is just stunning that this, what that interview would have made Maria Bartiromo blush. That's how much of a sycophant, brown-nosing interview it was. I hope Gutfeld feels humiliated, because he should. It was a humiliating interview. One of our sponsors is CuriosityStream, the only subscription streaming service just for documentaries. My girlfriend and I have been using the CuriosityStream platform at home nonstop. I can tell you from personal experience, much better documentary selection than Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon. On CuriosityStream, I'm always finding documentaries by the world's best filmmakers, stuff you can't find on other streaming services. Last month, they added a ton of awesome new titles to the library. I just finished watching Becoming Martian, about the future of the human species and its possible path through Mars. But there's documentaries on every topic imaginable: science, nature, history, politics. If you love documentaries the way I do, you are not going to find a better source of brand new, award-winning docs anywhere else. CuriosityStream is giving my audience 25% off. That means you can subscribe for just $15 a year. Very reasonable, considering the endless number of super quality documentary content that you have access to. Just go to curiositystream.com/Pacman. The link is right underneath this video.